Hello, hello. Good morning, ladies. It is day 2 of the challenge to stop carb cravings. And I'm just going to do my regular audio video check here. So bear with me for a moment. Okay, well, while I do that, I am really excited that you're listening because that means, there we go, we're good. That means that you made it through day 1 and that hopefully the high fat, high protein breakfast was something that you enjoyed and you found yourself feeling full further into the day than you normally do after breakfast. And I've gotten a lot of feedback from you on that, which is really, really wonderful. I've heard it from a couple of you, or a few of you, I should say, you've sent the emails, you've posted in the group, so just keep it coming. I love hearing from you because it lets me know, you're engaging, you're doing it, and those of you that are doing it, that are following the steps, are going to see the results. And I mean, with day 1, a lot of you have said, your cravings are already decreasing a little bit. So don't expect the overnight miracle of the cravings to stop on day 1 or day 2. This is a 5-day challenge. So it's going to get better throughout the 5 days once the 5 steps are implemented. Okay. All right. And so if you haven't reached out to me yet, comment below the video and post in the group and let me know if you also notice any changes, if anything has improved. All right. So much for the wrap up of day 1. Today, day 2 is all about grains. Okay. So we are focusing on cutting grains out from our last meal of the day, only the last meal, okay? I mean, you've already done it for breakfast because none of the recipes that I shared with you have grains in them. So we're now focusing on dinner, okay? So lunch, I'm going to avoid the questions coming in for, do whatever you want for lunch, okay? Whatever you want. We've focused on breakfast, continue doing that for breakfast. And today we're only focusing on dinner. Okay, lunch is a free-for-all. Have a dinner for all I care. Okay, I mean, I have a pizza for all I care. That's what I was going to say. So we're going to focus on grains. We're going to cut them out. And we're doing this for a couple of reasons. So let me start this whole thing by saying that I am not 100% against grains. And I want that to be really clear. And I don't think that you can never have grains in a healthy, well-balanced diet, okay? However, there's a couple of things with grains that make them more of a treat than an everyday staple. And I'll tell you why, okay? The first thing with grains is that people tend to create a meal around grains instead of just adding a little bit of a grain into a meal as a garnish or something like that. So for example, when we traditionally make pasta, we make a big pot of pasta and we make a small pot of sauce. And to serve it, we grab a big plate of pasta with a little bit of sauce on it. So now that meal is predominantly a grain, which I want you to keep in mind for later when I explain why that's not such a great thing. All right, so that's one example. I mean, another example is when you make a stir fry with a huge serving of rice or noodles and then a little tiny bit of veggies and protein on top. Just sprinkle it, right? And again, you have a big plate of rice and then some veggies and meat and a little bit of sauce on it. And once again, that grain just took over the whole plate. I gotta be really careful with this because I knocked my tea over yesterday all over my office. It was a mess. Okay, so grains are taking over a plate, right? Does that sound familiar? Does that sound like something that you tend to do? Okay, it tends to happen. It's very normal. And you know what? It's not your fault that you're doing it. We're just doing what we grew up with. We're just doing what we see around us, right? So this is not yeah, this is not to blame anybody for doing anything. It's just something that we want to become aware of now, and we want to move on. And now that you know this information, you can start to make changes. Okay. So take a look now and let me know, share with me, how many nights a week do you eat grains for dinner? Okay, just leave a comment below the video so that I can know. So our body doesn't like this overconsumption of grain for a couple of different reasons. Number one is that grains are not very nutrient dense, which means you're not getting much nutrient bang for your buck, so to speak. So there is nutrients in them, definitely, and they're great nutrients, but it's a small amount of nutrients compared to the large amount of calories that we're getting from them, okay? So grains, they take up a lot of space. So they deliver a lot of calories, but in comparison, very few vitamins and minerals. That's kind of what I'm trying to say. And the sun's coming out, so it's totally glaring in my face. If it's too much, I just have to get up and close the blinds in my office for a moment. So from a health point of view, then speaking from that point of view, from my point of view, they're not all that exciting, okay? So compared to nutrient-dense food like vegetables, which have a ton of vitamins and minerals and other nutrients, nutrients squeezed into them per square inch. And protein, again, is super nutrient dense. They keep you feeling full. They're important for our metabolism, and they have lots of fat-soluble vitamins in them too. Fats also, they're really nutrient dense as well. So egg yolks, oh my God, egg yolks are one of the most nutrient dense foods that we know, and we've been demonizing them. How many people here still eat egg white omelets, leaving the yolk out? No, 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 let's put that yolk back into everything. It's super, super important. It's nourishing. It's gonna keep you feeling full longer, and it's going to decrease your cravings later in the day, okay? So when it comes to filling our bodies with good quality items that help us stabilize our blood sugar, remember yesterday's lesson, grains just aren't very high up there, okay? So for that reason, not for that reason, but the reason for that is that grains, they're mainly made of starch, they're a carbohydrate, which breaks down very quickly into sugar. So, you can see where I'm going with this. It's going to raise your blood sugar. It's going to give you that blood sugar roller coaster, and then you're just going to crave. It's going to be stored as fat, the energy, first of all, and then you're going to get cravings later on, okay? So if your dinner is predominantly made of grains, and grains are predominantly breaking down to sugar fairly quickly, then that same blood sugar roller coaster we talked about at breakfast time is going to happen again at lunch and at dinner time, okay? And by simply cutting out grains, you're forced to add in those nutrient-dense foods like protein and vegetables, foods that fuel your body in more ways than just quick energy. And they don't, those foods don't result in excess fat storage for the most part, and don't result in that blood sugar roller coaster that's causing those carb cravings later. So that's what I want you to take away from this, okay? And that's why your challenge is to avoid grains completely tonight, only for dinner, okay? So we've covered breakfast, and today we're covering dinner. If we haven't covered it yet, it's because we're not focusing on it yet. Okay, so how does that sound? Do you feel like you can avoid grains completely for dinner? I've made it really easy for you, as you'll just have to focus on the dinner recipe options given to you in the manual. So you've got 3 options in your manual, so pick one that looks good to you, and if you feel you need to substitute out a few things, go ahead and do that. For the next 3 days, you can eat that same dinner. So you can make that cauliflower shepherd's pie, you can make a batch, or you can make 2, freeze the rest, and you don't have to worry about dinner for the rest of the week. So that's one of those easy dinners. My clients love that as well, and I love making it here. because it is so easy to just make a big batch and store. If you prefer variety, then you can try all of the 3 recipes that I've shared. So really, whatever you want, whatever is easiest for you. I do recommend that you pick one of the recipes so that you can get the right amount of fats, the right amount of protein, and the right amount of vegetables as well. All right, and as I said, if you don't like salmon, then just substitute the salmon with another protein. So that works really, really easily. We're focusing on the macronutrients. We want to make sure that you have enough protein, we want to make sure you have enough fats, and we want to make sure you have enough vegetables, and with that, the fiber as well. Okay, it's not about the individual ingredient that we're looking at here. We're looking at the big picture. We're looking at the macronutrients. Okay, so if you do that, now you're going to be changing your breakfast and your dinner, I want you to really notice the difference you feel later in the evening. And by not having that carbohydrate heavy dinner, your carb cravings later on will always be less intense. And because you're having a different dinner, you're already setting yourself up for the next day. So you're waking up tomorrow. If you have that dinner tonight, you're going to wake up tomorrow with stable blood sugar and decreased cravings. So it's going to start snowballing. Okay. And what you also, a lot of people, what they say is that they start to sleep better if they change their dinner once they remove grains out of their dinner. So if you sleep better, you wake up feeling more rested in the morning. All right, so are you in for that? Are you gonna make this happen? I'm just gonna see if there's, okay, Cami, you said you tend to take less pasta and more sauce, only once a week usually. Okay, perfect. So yeah, just keep an eye out to see if there's anything else that shows up during dinners. And some people naturally eat more than others, and some just like to eat less because you like less protein, more protein naturally, okay? So let me know if you already went shopping. Let me know if you're having the grain-free dinner tonight. Let me know which one you're having tonight. Don't forget to post a picture in the group to let me know how it's going, and to let me know if you're facing any challenges as well, because those can come up as well, right? Don't expect that everything has to go super smooth and super perfect. But we also want you to share because we want to celebrate your success and anything else that you want to share. So let's not be shy. Let's post in the group. I'll be sharing my dinner as well. Yeah, so take pictures of your meals. Again, we're not looking for pretty pictures here. We're just looking for pictures. So don't be shy to share those. We're really not looking at your photography skills. All right, ladies, enjoy your high-fat, high-protein breakfast. Enjoy your grain-free dinner. And I will be back here at the same time tomorrow. And I have a lot of clients throughout the day today, so I'll be in the group once in a while. You'll be hearing from me, but I'll definitely do the Facebook Live tomorrow at the same time, and I hope to see you there as well. Bye.